It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Terribly sorry for subjecting you to my horrible singing voice, but I am so excited for Halloween 2019. Here we are again, and my first tutorial for you guys is the Witch Doctor. To get this look, I'm first starting by tracing out the general outline for the VooDoo type mask that I wanted to paint on myself. And I'm using my favorite face paints. These are the Mehron Paradise paints. I get questions about this every single year. They're super easily accessible. You can get them on Amazon. I have seen them at Halloween stores. It's a water-based paint, so it feels really natural on the skin and not super greasy. So I do love that. It's also super easy to remove since it's water-based. As soon as water touches it just melts right off. So in case you guys were wondering, that's what I like to use. That's pretty much the face paint I use in every tutorial. And like always, I'll have everything linked in the description box for your reference. Once we have the white mask on, we are going to trace out these creepy little black peaks. I got a lot of inspiration for this look from the prop materials that I got. I was shopping at Spirit Halloween the other day and I saw these and I just got really inspired. And there was a little bit of like makeup inspo on the packaging, so I loosely got inspiration from that. So anyway, I'm just, tracing out some of these creepy black lines, kind of like flame type looking things, but we're not going for flames, it's just similar in shape. So the first thing you want to do is just basically trace out any important details that you're going to be wanting to paint in later. It just helps to make sure you know where everything is. So after that, I am going to be filling in my eyebrows. I was using dip brow here just because I didn't want to go full on with black just yet in case I didn't like the shape, but I did end up liking the shape. I just took them out and left them very, very sharp, and then we're adding details on the top of the brows here in a minute. And if you mess up or you just want to clean up a little bit, this stuff is really forgiving. You can just go back in with the white like it's a concealer and carve the brows out. So now we're going to be going in on the top of the eyebrow and just making those same black peaks. I thought this was just a really cool effect. It just gave a creepy look to the brows. This would also be another detail that after you fill your brows in that you could carve out. Why do I keep wanting to say that? It's not carve out, trace out with the black liner, but I was feeling pretty confident in the shape that I was going for, so I went straight in with the paint, but feel free to trace it out first. That definitely gives you a little wiggle room if you don't like something, but this ended up working out fine for me. And then I decided to pull that brow out and extend it just a little bit more than it already was. But we're basically going back in with the black and just filling over that dip brow. That was just kind of a security blanket for the shape. And as you can see, I'm just making these peaks and then dragging it upward and then filling in all of the other areas that I traced out with a black body paint. I started working on the bottom of the mask and then realized I wanted to shade just underneath it to make it look like it was a mask sitting on top of my skin. This isn't entirely necessary, but I do feel like it added a cool effect to this look. So basically I'm going back in with the black paint and I'm not being as particular as the details on the forehead. I'm just kind of messily carving this out and giving it this cool black detail on the bottom. So feel free to trace this too if you want to, or just freehand it. It works either way. The other thing I wanted to mention is I did have a headband for this look, but if you don't have a headband, you might want to drag that black up into your hairline just a little bit more so it blends better. So just a little quick note to keep in mind. Now onto the fun stuff. The black was by far the most time-consuming part of this look, but you can go ahead and add little details on your forehead, whatever you want. You could do lines, dots, diamonds, sparkles, I don't know, whatever you want, whatever your little heart desires. I just did a couple lines and a cross. And then we're going to kind of move on to the eyes here. So with a ColourPop black liner, I'm just going in and smoking out that lower lash line, or at least starting the process. I decided to kind of do a reverse wing. I wanted a lot of focus to be on my bottom lash line. So I'm dragging that out from the lower lash line and then kind of working backwards to how you normally would with a regular wing. And then now we're going to be moving on to the eyeshadow and really bringing this look together with some color. So I'm taking a black shader brush, and I think this is the Morphe 35N palette. It's a really good neutral palette. It does have some pinks and purples in it, but for the most part it's just blacks and browns and that kind of thing. So I went straight in with the pink, and that wasn't really blending the way I wanted it to, so I ended up throwing some purple in there too, and that worked great. So I'm taking kind of a salmon pink color here on a fluffy brush and blending that into the black. But honestly, if you were to recreate this, you could just go back in with the purple because it blended into the black a whole lot better than what I'm doing here. So this was just kind of my starting point. You know, with looks like this, it just kind of comes together naturally. You just kind of put stuff down, see if you like it. If you don't, throw some more color in there, change it, whatever you need to do. That's kind of the fun of creating a really artistic look like this. So here I am going back in with that purple, and I'm starting with like an almost black plum color and then moving into a brighter purple that then kind of goes into the coral. So it was a much nicer gradient effect once I threw that purple in there. The key to any look with tons and tons of color like this is to blend your little life away. I obviously threw down a whole bunch of color, and it's constantly this back and forth of putting down color and blending out. So just something to keep in mind. Everything looks better when it's blended. I think we can all agree on that. I decided to go back in and add a little shadow to the top part of the mask, and again, this was kind of an optional thing, not super important to the look, but I did like the way that it turned out. So I just kind of went in and shaded the black to give it a little bit more dimension. And then it wouldn't be the first tutorial of the year if we didn't have some technical difficulties. All you really missed me doing here was putting on lashes and the glitter. The glitter I used is from the ColourPop Villains Collection, and it's in the color Do I Look Like I Care? It's a really pretty rainbow color. As you can see, I feel like this lighting is not necessarily doing it justice, but it was very intensely like holographic. Really, really pretty. And then I was using a purple Smashbox liquid lip here. Again, all of the shade names and stuff will be in the description box below. And now you are the witch doctor. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my first tutorial of the year. If you do recreate this or any of my other looks, please don't forget to tag me or hashtag me on Instagram. It's just at KaitNicholeXO. I'd love to see your amazing work. And if you're not already, please subscribe, like the video if you liked it, and I will see you in my next one.